Now I'm going to go over all the ways you can make gil without using the market board. Mainly because if I tell you how to make gil using the market board, you will no longer be able to use the market board because then everyone will use the market board. But I digress. I'm going to start out on the easier side of things with daily roulettes and your challenge log. These are things that you should be doing anyway, and it may not sound like a lot, but it will add up over time. I personally like doing things like trials and normal raids because they're generally the quicker things and can give up to 10k gil when you are the adventurer in need, with the addition of allowing you to knock out some of the challenge log challenges. Other things that are like the gathering and the crafting are very easy to do. Fishing is another one that you can do every single week, but I also make sure I do the custom deliveries every single week. There's 12 custom deliveries that you can do, and they give gil straight up with the addition of being a challenge log, and maybe more importantly, give scripts. Scripts I always like to have because you can then buy more material, which you can use for whatever purpose that you want. You can meld it or you can sell it on the, I'm gonna go on to desynthesis because, while you're doing your weekly roulettes, you're gonna be doing some dungeons and you'll get some poetics and you can buy gear. This gear you can do a lot of things with, but you can desynth it for either materials or at least 5 every single week to get the challenge log completed for additional gil. But on the other end, you can also turn this gear in for seals, which I would personally do. There are some things going around that say you can then buy a bunch of duck bones and sell those to vendors straight up. Or if you are truly desperate, you can sell this gear directly. But I personally want to turn them into seals so I can turn them into minion boxes because you can get lucky with minion boxes and it's always fun to open these up. And when you're done with all of these minions, you get the idea. Another thing that you can do every single week is the weekly hunt board, which grants gil and is easy enough and will also add up over time. Now on to some of the more profitable methods, like Levequests. But before I go too far in depth, I want to say, when I mentioned the market board and we're not going to be using it? Well, I lied. But I can explain. There are things like the level 87 alchemy craft, the commanding craftsman drought, which you can either craft or you can just buy it off the market board and find the breakpoint for profit. So we know that we're going to get 10,000 gil every single time we turn in this Levequest. And it takes 3 of these draughts to turn in order to get the Levequest completed. So as long as I can buy 3 of the high quality ones for under 10,000 gil, you will make a profit. However, these things are easy enough to craft yourself. If you have your crafters high enough, you can use trained eye and craft a bunch yourself in a reasonable amount of time. But I don't care what you do. I'm not your mom. But these are the things that I would look for. There are other things such as the Doman Enclave that can give you up to 20k gil free every single week also, but I'm too lazy to do that. But I want that option to be known. It just takes items and then doubles the value up to 20k a week once it's fully leveled. So that's just another option for you. Now there's another thing with Blue Mage Farm in the Vault, which you need to have certain spells for. And you can get about 5k gil per run, but I'm bad at the game and I don't want to do it. So I don't do it, but the Blue Mage Farm, there's plenty of other videos on how to set it up. But if you have Blue Mage and you enjoy it and you want to farm the Vault, you can certainly do that for about 5k each run. Now I'm going to go on to my favorite option in Eureka bunnies. Bunnies are found from doing certain fates in Eureka and will lead you to treasure. These treasures can range from 10 to 100k gil every 10 minutes depending on what chest you get, with the addition of dropping items which you can then sell on the market board. But just treat that as a bonus, okay? Now I want to say I made around 4 million gil just from the treasure chest alone, not from the items before I found a single mount from them. So if you're going to try to get money from the mounts, you're going to make a bunch of money from the chest anyway. Just treat the items as a bonus. Now on to the last method in maps. You're sort of up to the RNG gods on this one, and I've made anywhere from 200k to 1 million gil in an hour off just the gil alone. You have the opportunity to get rare materials and items, which, You can sell on the market board, but let's once again just treat that as a bonus. Every time you do a map, a chest will drop, and if you get a portal or are lucky enough to get a portal, every single chest also grants gil. As you go further and further into the dungeon, more and more gil is added to the chest, up to 100,000 gil if you get to the final room. The dungeon also has events such as cards and bonus enemies to kill in a certain order, which also grant additional gil and are kind of fun things to look out for while doing the dungeon. Now, normally you can hold up to 4 maps if you have 2 retainers, 1 in each retainer, 1 on yourself and 1 on your saddlebag, and a 5th if you want to have the map open. However, one little thing to note that is if you have a very nice friend that is willing to mail it back to you, you can also store 20 maps in your mailbox for a total of 25 maps. And then you can just pick a day and do them all and then complain about your horrible RNG that you only got 3 portals in the 26 maps that you did. But I'm not going to get into that. And yeah, that's all of the ways that I found to make gil without using the market board. There are some bonuses in there that will net you some additional gil on the market board, but I tried to come up with ideas and things that were not dependent on variations in the market board. So I hope this helped you find some ways. And if you have other ways, please put them down in the comments below. I'll make a more in-depth gil making guide of strategies that you can use with the market board for next time. But for right now, I hope this helps you out. And as always, I hope you have a great day.